13 things you didn't know about the Gambia. The Gambia, which is a country in West Africa situated on the Atlantic coast and surrounded by the neighbouring country of Senegal. It occupies a long narrow strip of land that surrounds the Gambia River. The land is flat and is dominated by the river. The country is referred to as Smiling Coast of Africa because of its hospitality. The population growth and infant mortality rates in the Gambia are among the highest in Western Africa. The population is young, with about 2/3 under the age of 30. In today's video, we talk about 13 things you probably didn't know about the Gambia. So let's get started. The first thing is the setting for Halley's novel Roots. The Gambia is known for being home to Jufureh, the reputed ancestral village of Kunta Kinte, the main character in Alice Halley's well-known novel Roots. Secondly, Serrekunda is the commercial center. The capital, which is Banjul, is situated where the Gambia River flows into the Atlantic Ocean. Although Banjul is the capital, Serrekunda, situated about 20 kilometers from Banjul, is by far the Gambia's busiest city and the commercial center of the country. Gambia was referred to as Senegambia. It was only in the late 19th century that a distinction was made between Senegal and the Gambia. Until that time, the region was often referred to as Senegambia. The Gambia's history is closely tied to that of neighboring country Senegal. Gambia is Africa's mainland smallest country. The Gambia is Africa's smallest non-island country. It is also one of Africa's most densely populated countries. A few towns are located upriver, but most Gambians live in the rural areas. Our next thing we are looking at is the ethnic groups in Gambia. The major ethnic groups are similar to those in Senegal and consist of the majority Malinke and also include Wolo, Fulani, Jola, and Soninke people. The Jola are the people longest residents in the country. They are now located mostly in Western Gambia. The largest group is Malinke, comprising about 1/3 of the population. The Fulani settled the extreme upper river areas in their kingdom. The Soninke, an admixture of Malinke and Fulani, are also concentrated in the upper river areas. Farming, the major occupation in the Gambia. The Gambian economy is heavily dependent on peanuts, which is also granules production and export. Agriculture is still the biggest contributor to the economy. Besides peanuts, the Gambia's exports include cotton, rice, cattle, watermelons, and many more. Our next point is that tourism is gradually growing. Tourism is growing and currently generating 20% of the country's revenue. The country is known for the beautiful beaches along its small Atlantic coastline. Most tourists stick to the beach. The majority of tourists barely venture beyond the coast, although day tours make it easy to explore further. The active transportation system in the Gambia. The Gambia River has historically been the chief route between the interior of the country and the coast. The majority of the Gambia's roads are not paved. Ferries cross the river at Banjul and at various points where there are no bridges, and small watercrafts are common means of transport. There are no railways and no domestic air services, although the Gambia International Airlines flies out of the international airport located at Yandom, southwest of Banjul. The next thing you probably didn't know about the Gambia is the popular spoken language. English is the official language, but the most frequently spoken languages are generally of the Atlantic branch of the Niger-Congo family. Mandinka and Wolof constitute the lingua francas of the country. The next thing we'll look at is the religion in the Gambia. The population is predominantly Islamic. There are a small number of Christian communities, and most of these Christians belong to the Roman Catholic Church. They also have some adherents' traditional beliefs. Now let's talk about the food of the people. Gambian cuisine is nearly identical to Senegalese cooking. Staples include millet, rice, yams, plantain, and cassava. Fish, both dried and fresh, as well as sauces made from fish and peanuts, dominate the diet throughout the country. Millet and rice porridges are, very common and usually served as breakfast. Now, a little bit about the River Gambia. The dark history of the River Gambia. The River Gambia was once used for a much darker purpose, which is transporting slaves to the forts by the coast and onwards across the Atlantic Ocean. Over 2 million people, really possibly more than that, like 3 million, may have been taken from this part of Africa over the 3 centuries of the slave trade. The villages of our brother and Juffure are home to a museum and information center, as well as an old fort where captives were held. The last and also very important thing you probably didn't know about Gambia is whenever you are traveling to Gambia, you will have to go with your yellow card and some malaria tablets. So when traveling to Gambia, you will need malaria tablets and yellow fever card, which confirms that you've had your yellow fever, hepatitis A and B vaccination. Also, you should note that mosquitoes, the parasites causing malaria, are common in the Gambia, so protecting yourself from malaria is very important. A malaria course can be administered prior to your visit to the Gambia to prevent getting malaria in the first place. If you are traveling, you can also pack few, malaria tablets. And then we have it, explorers, the 13 things you probably didn't know about the Gambia. Thanks so much for watching. Do like this video if you learned a thing or two. Subscribe for more content like this if you haven't already. And until next time, bye.